What's up guys, GGFOREX here, and on today's video we're getting some direction in the DXY. Not great, but some. And that's all that matters, alright? We got no setup on EG. I cancelled that last night because obviously it was towards the London close. I didn't want to hold it over Asian session, so I cancelled it, and it's a great thing I did. So I'll show you in a sec. The only real setup that I like at the moment is GU. I'm going to go over that in a sec as well. So let me just show you DXY, and then we can kind of get the bias of what the hell is actually happening. So, DXY, right? It liquidated these highs, pushed lower, made more targets. So I'm guessing that price could either come back to here, because these orders pushed lower, or it could come back to here. So what I mean by the orders that push lower, if you have a look, create a trend line, and then price bounced off the trend line, then slammed through, liquidating out the money down here and then creating more money down here. Or it could be trying to fill the imbalance in price and then trying to get back to their orders, which liquidated the money that people were putting in here early to get the sell off when they got manipulated out, right? So they are all possibilities. So to me, the DXY is still bearish until it breaks this high, right? It looks like it's created more liquidity, so it looks like it's going to run these lows as well. So I can see on EG, I did have an entry down here, down in this area. And then, as you can see, when it came down to New York close, which is the end of this red area into Asian, it made more liquidity. So right before New York close, around about 9:15, 9:30, I cancelled the pending order, and it's a good thing I did, because London Open came down and boom, it just ran liquidity to push lower down into this area. So to me, EG is now a write-off. There's no point looking at it anymore. Euro USD, it's just building liquidity on both sides. It's ugly as hell. Obviously the DXY at the moment is still bearish, so we are looking for buys, but I don't really want to be buying Euro USD because we still have pools of liquidity in these two areas. Until these get taken, I don't feel safe putting a buy anywhere until this is gone, because obviously if you're going to buy somewhere down here, you mean you're sat on a pool of liquidity. So this price needs to come down, take it, show me a sign of strength, and then go higher for me to want to get into Euro USD. So Euro USD is basically a write-off until it shows me something that it wants to do. It's either going to take the tops or it's got to take the bottoms. I don't care which, I just want to have a direction. Because at the moment it's in no man's land for a few weeks. So maybe after today's news and the rest of the week's news, we may get a better direction on the Euro USD. GU, however, GU is nice. GU makes sense, and I'll show you what I mean. So from the price action yesterday, I wasn't jumping in because I didn't really think that this would hold. I wanted to see what price would do, and it left a real nice hourly bullish engulfing candle, broke the highs, following the bullish order flow that GU has been doing over the past couple of weeks, which is great. And it's gave us a really nice entry. So this entry here, this 1 hour candle, is the same as this 1 hour candle. It's the same as this 1 hour candle. So you can see price just exploded up, came back, mitigated, exploded up, came back, mitigated, exploded up. So this should be a nice entry. I am aware that on the daily time frame, we are getting into a premium area, and if you have a look, if I zoom out completely, you'll see that this daily trend line is occurring. So I feel like people will be looking at this trend line with like, it's bulletproof, nothing's can get through it, it's a daily trend line, blah de blah, and I feel like the liquidation will happen on that nicely. I am aware that we're also trading in this daily order block, but if you have a look above this entry, we do have price inefficiency, imbalance, where price was liquidated before. This orange line is the 786 on the fibs. Reason for me doing that is because if you have a look at the retracements previously on these daily swings, this white line there is a 786. retraced past the 786, retraced to the 786, go from this swing high to swing low, retraced to the 786. So to me the 786 is kind of like a line where when it hits I will start to look for a distribution, and obviously when it's hit that line it's obviously liquidated the trend line as well. So yeah, I feel like there's going to be one more push for GU to the upside, so that's what I'm hopefully going to catch, and then we might see a distribution. But until then, bullish order flow is there. I've got a nice clean entry. I just need to wait for price action to flag down, and then hopefully trigger me in and push higher for a nice 1 to 5. But yeah, that is it. There's not really a lot. EU's rubbish. DXY is kind of showing the direction now. I prefer it if it did break that swing low to give me extra confidence in that. And EG needs to be investigated because there's too much liquidity at the top side. It's liquidated all the bottoms. It doesn't look like it wants to go up. So it could be some sells on the card, but maybe lower risk. We'll have to wait and see. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning now, so I'll get back to you after New York Open. Right guys, it's 3:15 in the afternoon. Obviously New York has happened, but GU has had this beautiful flag pattern. I'm on the 5-minute time frame. Beautiful flag pattern, and we've had a nice push up. Unfortunately, it hasn't actually hit us in. It's about roughly, it was about 7 pips away, which is okay. I still think it can come down and just liquidate these equal lows that it has created. There is some imbalance down here on a 50-minute time frame, so from the 1 hour standpoint, it still looks like a good trade. It still looks like a good trade, but it's nice to know that there's some bullish intent. I go on a DXY and you can see how it's came up to that trend line again that it created, liquidated people who had been selling off of it, filled 50% of the imbalance and seems to be selling off. But let's not forget that there is still imbalance that hasn't been filled yet, and an area where it hasn't been mitigated yet. So this still could come up, mitigate, fill the rest of the imbalance, and then come down, right? That could still be a possibility. And obviously we still have money down here as well. So it's nice to know that DXY is selling off from a logical area, and GU is showing strength in that sort of DXY manipulation. EU is just horrible. I did this markup. I'm not in this trade, so don't worry. I did this markup because if you have a look on the 15-minute time frame, you can see that it's just the opposite of what we wanted, really. You can see EU created equal highs, London Open liquidated them, came down, made more equals, and then did a really nice sell-off pattern. But if this was happening in a logical point of interest, and it wasn't, and it was in correlation with the DXY, as in it was making sense to what the DXY was doing as well, because also we're looking for buys on DXY, not buys on DXY. I mean sells on the DXY, so we're looking for buys on EU and GU, right? So EU wasn't lining up with DXY, and it's got liquidity here, 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 and here. It's just horrible. So EU's basically a write-off until we get better price action, to be honest. It's either got to take these or take these. I don't care which. I'm hoping it takes the low somehow, and we can look for buy opportunities. But at the moment it's horrible, and it's going to be staying horrible probably for a few weeks. So because of that, I have looked at USD CHF. Now, I don't normally trade USD CHF, but I do like, excuse me, the order flow. The order flow is actually quite beautiful on USD CHF. Reason being is, if you have a look down here, I was playing around with it, but you can see how it reacted off a logical area, it pushed up, it made equal highs, came down, mitigated, pushed up again, made equal highs, broke through, tested the breaker block that made that, broke again, came up, made, and it has eventually, if I scroll over, taken out this pool of liquidity and is now testing in this 30-minute block up here. This 30-minute block is beautiful, right in there, beautiful. So now it looks like it's doing a selling off pattern, because obviously if it's USD CHF and we're looking for sells on a DXY, then this makes sense to short because the dollar's getting weaker. And if you have a look, made equal highs, New York Open, bang, exploded through. So let me just zoom in a sec so you can see better. I'm not in this trade either. I'm waiting for it to break a low. So you can see equal highs exploded through. I'm waiting for it to break this to show me that there is weakness. Then have a look at the DXY. See? Pushed up, made higher highs, 1, 2, 3 impulses. RSI coming down. So this is in line with DXY in a logical area, and it is giving us a beautiful sell-off like the EU was, but just not in any way, shape or form. The EU is just being rogue at the moment. It's horrible. So 20-minute time frame looks really clean for me. So if my alarm is here anyway, so if it gets triggered, then I know to look for an entry above here, around here. So that should be quite good, down to a logical discounted area for a 1 to 5 if it works out. And obviously GU is still a 1 to 5 if it comes back down here. So just waiting and seeing, but the reaction in this logical area is good. But I'm not gonna force a trade to trade higher when I know it's created equal lows and there is some imbalance below in a logical pound candle as well. So again, it's looking good. I need to sit on my hands, not force anything, wait, and it should be good. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we should be triggered in maybe 1 or 2 of these trades. If my confirmations are hit, obviously, I've already got the pendant on GU, but if my confirmations are met on USD CHF, then that could be a winner as well. But yeah, so far so good. We need to see what happens next. Okay, so it is 4:15 in the afternoon. So GU did just full send it, ran away from me, and my alarm has been triggered, and it has just broken this high. So either the market is going to continue to go high. Oh, there's an accident. The market is going to continue to push higher, then come down, maybe get into here where the orders made this go up, but then they do have equal lows down here. So the question is, I'll wait for a schematic to happen in this area. If price consolidates and then comes down, then that'd be something that I would like. I'm still going to have this pendant on here just because it's logical sense. Even if price doesn't come down here and just moves away, then we'll just look for another opportunity another day. I'm not that worried about it, but the only thing that concerns me is the liquidity still trapped underneath here. So that is on my mind of what could potentially play out. If you have a look at the DXY, it has now broken this low, which is great because we've been waiting for this for ages. So price came up, did fill half of the imbalance. It hasn't got to this bit yet. I'm sure it'll do it later on, but at the moment, as I feel like price is just moving its way down. So I go to the daily time frame. You can see still the liquidity down there hasn't taken. It's got imbalance here and here. So I believe price could come down to this area. It looks like it's having a strong sell-off, so we could see something like this happening over the next few weeks, which is good because that means we got a long way to go with GU and EU. EU has finally broken the high, so it looks like EU is finally attacking them. So we could have possible entries on this in the following weeks. Let's move it higher and then zoom out a bit. You can see where the banks put in all their orders in this area. So I'm going to wait for maybe to break this high, make more targets, and then see what price does, wait for a schematic to happen and go up. The reason why I want to wait for confirmation in this area is because we still have liquidity lower. So either they're going to keep it and leave it, and then when they come back up into a premium area again, so if you have a look on the daily, if they come back up into this grey area, then sell off, then they might take the liquidity out that way. And just leave it for a few weeks before they do so. So all these things are possible, but we have got a sell confirmation on USD CHF now, which is great. It's broken its low, it's left a beautiful entry point. Let me just cancel that. Beautiful entry point on the 20-minute. So I'll be looking for I'll be putting a pending order on this tomorrow morning because it makes logical sense. It's a beautiful setup in a logical area, beautiful reaction. All my confirmations are met. I just need to set my 1% risk and let the markets play out. But yeah, that's it, guys. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.